Hey guys, what up? It's your boy Monster, and I'm gonna be starting this series recapping the 2017 NFL draft for each team. Um, but with that said, I also want 1,000 subscribers. I don't just want 100, I want 1,000. So go down there, subscribe. Hey, leave a like as well, because I'm gonna try my best to get this done for all 32 teams. I'm gonna do it by first round picks in that order. So first team's the Cleveland Browns, second team's the Chicago Bears, third team's the 49ers, and so on and so forth until I get to teams that didn't have a first round pick. Then I'll start doing it in a miscellaneous order. Um, but yeah, for the Browns, their first round picks, they got three of them, three first rounders. And I think they did pretty well with those first rounders. Um, One of them ended up being the replacement for Gary Barnidge, which, if you're a fan of football, Gary Barnidge is just a guy that, for me as a fan of football, I just like Gary Barnidge. He's kind of cool, but you know the guy they got to replace him isn't that bad either. They got Miles Garrett with their first overall pick. All pro potential, clearly the best guy in this draft, a great pass rusher. Um, I don't know if he's the best pass rusher. He's definitely the best mix of pass rusher and run stopper. Gotta loosen this hat up. It is low key restricting blood circulation in my head. Uh, then they they actually traded away their number 12 pick for a first rounder next year, and they switched picks with the Texans for this year and picked up the Texans first rounder for the next year. So they essentially got lower in this draft plus another pick. So the Texans now do not have a first or second round pick next year. As a Texans fan, that kind of saddens me, but it doesn't completely. I'll get to that in my Texans draft recap video. But with their 25th pick, they went ahead and got Jabril Peppers. This is a nice hybrid guy. I don't know what exactly he's going to be. Is he going to be a safety? Is he going to be a linebacker? But I like the premise. I like the athleticism. Um, yeah, I think he can do a lot of things for you. I would say more so safety he'll be because of the fact that he can also be a kick and punt returner, and you don't see linebackers being kick and punt returners. But there's also a chance he could play linebacker. I think he's like Shaq Thompson on the Panthers. But then the 29th pick of the first round. They got this one from a trade with the Packers. I don't know the details off the top of my head, but they got David Njoku, replacement for Gary Barnidge, as I said earlier on in this video. He's the youngest player in this draft. I think he has a lot of time to grow, and right now, with what he's got, you feel good enough about him as a player to play on your team. Now, the reason I would say I was happy that they didn't reach for a quarterback is because they were able to pick a quarterback at pick 52, um, that they probably earlier on in the in draft discussion, this guy probably seemed like he could go number one overall. Then he started falling and falling and falling, mainly because of his combine. Then because of his bad combine, it caused people to investigate more into his like tapes. Which, while me watching his tapes, I liked him, but I didn't like him. There were plays that he did well, and then some that were piss poor. So, like, he's good, but um, sometimes it's just, basically all it boils down to is he was playing for Notre Dame, a good team year after year that is always good, and they still turned a losing record, which is surprising. And you kind of got to blame the quarterback for that, unfortunately. But pick 65, they take Larry Ogunjubi, Ogunjubi, Ogunjobi. This sounds like a Nigerian name, and I'm probably butchering it, even though I am Nigerian. But he affects the pass game. His problem is he can play up or down to the competition. Like he, it's a good pick for the round. It's good. I don't know if they necessarily needed a defensive tackle. I know they have a lot of needs. I don't know if one draft can fix that, but when you have um, a full like 12 picks to work with, you're gonna fix a lot of holes. But then their pick at 126, I really like it because this guy has upside, pretty good ball skills. Howard Wilson, cornerback. I think if this guy lives up to the hype, he can be really good. Now, unfortunately, there's a reason he was picked in the fourth round. I feel like he probably won't live up to the hype and he'll be a career backup at best. He, I think his ceiling is number two cornerback, number one cornerback on a really bad team, which since he's on the Browns, I'm sorry, Browns fans, but that might be your number one corner. Actually, no, it won't. You actually have a good cornerback in there. Never mind. Um, but then in the fifth round, we have Roderick Johnson, offensive tackle. I know that's probably one of their needs because they lose offensive linemen every year that offensive linemen are eligible to leave because it's the Browns and almost no one wants to stay there. Even ask Peyton Hillis. But with the sixth round, Caleb Brantley, this guy probably could have been a first round pick. Unfortunately, off the field, he has been running into problems. The Browns have even come up and said they might not keep him. He's a risk, but the fact that you picked him in round six, you're probably not going to find any starters in round six. So you take a chance on the guys that have pending off the field issues and you give them a chance, and even if it doesn't work out, you didn't lose much. It's a six rounder. Seventh round, they went Zane Gonzalez. I think there were about three kickers taken in the draft, and Caleb Brantley was a defensive tackle. If I didn't mention that, but kicker Arizona State, I think there's going to be a little bit of hesitation on jumping on kickers in like the second or third round after how the whole Aguayo situation boiled out. He was the most accurate kicker in football, but he didn't kick the ball that often, especially not from 40 plus yards. His 40-yard plus kick accuracy was below 50%. Um, but then seventh round. Oh, this is the pick right before Mr. Irrelevant. Mr. Irrelevant was 253. I'll get to that in a different video. I actually think Mr. Irrelevant fell to the only team where he has a chance at a starting job, to be honest. But again, discuss that in a different video. But Browns aren't exactly set at running back. I do think Duke Johnson from Miami is better than Matt Days that they picked here. Matt Days was okay. He doesn't have any like special ability, but he did do what North Carolina, North Carolina State asked him to do, and you can't really ask. He did what he needed to do. I don't think he's gonna probably make the team because Isaiah Crowell's there. He's good enough. Duke Johnson's a decent number two, and hopefully he can get better. So, um, draft grade. What grade do I give the Cleveland Browns? I'm not really a big fan on giving grades simply because we don't know how good these players are going to turn out. But I'm still going to give them a grade based on what the potential is with this draft class. The fact that Cleveland got three first rounders out of that automatically pushes them to a B in my opinion. Now the fact that they hit on a lot of those picks in my opinion, that pushes it up to a B plus. The fact that they were also able to get their quarterback in round two without reaching for him, and they were able to get him a tight end along with two defensive players that one of them has tremendous upside. The other one, you're hoping he can get stuff done and you're hoping his athleticism can work out. I actually give the Browns on this draft an A plus, and I won't give that often, but I give them an A plus. Now, does that mean I think they're gonna be good next year? No. Um, I think they're gonna have to keep hitting on drafts like this for 2 years. Then they can start really asserting themselves as a slightly above average team. But as for now, they may win some games this year. um, they got the pieces together, and I fully expect Kaiser to be better than Kessler. He's going to win that starting job, eventually at least. They're probably going to keep Kessler on a really tight leash to start the season. He'll maybe start 2 or 3 games, then they'll start Kaiser if Kessler loses, and he will lose those first 3 games. Um, so, with that said, guys, stay classy, be sassy. Make sure to hit that subscribe button down below and make sure to like for more great content. I am still a mobile gamer. I just like football, so I do a little bit of everything. And this is the football aspect of my channel. Most of the time, you're going to be seeing gameplays, mobile gameplays. I have to be clear about that. You're not going to see watching me play Outlast, dang near peeing my pants in disbelief and terror, getting jump scared so hard that I fluffing break my light bulb because I jumped so high. I'm not into those games, dog. You gotta be messed up. But with that said, guys, I cannot say this enough. Stay classy, be sassy, be a monster omnivore. Peace out. Goodbye.